Hello, hello, hello. I'm Andrea Stevens,
And I'm Jeanette Mejias, and we are Webs Women.
where exposure brings strength. Welcome, welcome. Today is a special day, isn't it, Jeanette? And
Oh, wait.
Rosylnn, we have a guest. We have a guest.
Yes, we're very excited. First of all, we're excited actually to be back, right? And then to welcome our
Mhm.
first guest of 2024.
I
I'm excited to
know.
bring Roslynn Figueroa to join us today. She is actually the head of PR and marketing for the Women Warrior Collab. As you all know, we have featured several of the members. Some of them were authors. Jennifer Capella was the one that kicked off as one of our guests. So
Mhm.
we're just extremely excited. And then I just found out that Roslynn is from Woodbridge Township. And so I'm excited that she's in my hood. So we're
Yeah, you guys
definitely
are
gonna
neighbors. You're
we
neighbors.
are, we are. So warm welcome, Roslynn. We're so happy to have you. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. And yes, we are neighbors, so we're definitely gonna get coffee soon.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
so jealous. I'm so jealous.
Hey, Andrea, you got to come back to Jersey.
I
Jersey, where's
know.
that,
That
girl?
pull, there's that pull.
Yes, yes. So, Rosalind, we're excited to have you. We want to get to know you and kind of like what are the things that you have going on? I mean, I think it's so exciting that you are the head of PR and marketing, but I know you have a lot of other things going on. So I'd love to kind of hear what's going on with you now.
Yes, of course. So I have been working with Women Warriors since January of this year. So over the last 6 months, I have been helping with, the branding of the page and just increasing more social media exposure, a lot of the marketing with events and things of that nature. And before I got involved with Women Warriors, I actually started my own social media business by myself in 2022. So a little backstory, I have my degree in social work. I actually have my master's in social work. I went to school for that and I did that for 5 years. And then when I felt kind of mentally a little exhausted from everything, I worked with children. So it was a lot to work with all the children and a lot of the things they were going through. And I've always been a person that's liked to help people. So I'm like, you know what? I feel like I just love media and content creation. So I was also in network marketing while I was working full time in the social work industry. So that's where my love for media, content creation kind of came into play. And then I switched over to full-time social media management. And that's kind of where I am today. And that's how I kind of got connected to Women Warriors as well. I did get connected through like another author. So I'm just excited to honestly be full-time social media management. Being a business owner is fun. There are a lot of challenges, but that's what it's never easy, but it's always worth it, is what I say. So that's a little bit and to my kind of what I'm doing now.
That's exciting because we've had a lot of entrepreneurs, on our podcast, and they chime the same exact, tune about, it's not easy, but the
Mhm.
reward, the hard work is worth it. And um, I think that's fantastic. So tell me, I'm really curious about your branding. So like that's really a big challenge for folks who are trying to get on the ground with their own businesses and oftentimes don't even know how to capitalize on that. So can you kind of tell us like how your business can help those to kind of be more visible in
Yes.
that space?
So when it comes to branding and social media, a lot of people just are really not educated in what is like the best way to go about content creation or promoting their service or product that they sell. So the best way to kind of like what I help people, because I do also teach Canva classes for women in business, so I'm an educator as well, where I just kind of help women that like they just don't really know how to create for their business. So I give them a beginner course where they can actually learn. So the main thing I always talk about in my classes is really just having consistent branding, like having the consistency of the brand colors that they want, like making sure that everything kind of lines up and to be intentional with what they're posting about their business. Because I told them, I was like, if you're posting every day just to keep up with the algorithm of social media and it's not intentional and it's not gonna actually grab at your audience, it's really useless.
Mm.
So I really educate on like the basically just being super intentional with what you're putting out, because excuse me, essentially you're putting out a story. You're putting out a
Mhm.
story to someone to have them understand why they either need X, Y, and Z service, why they need this product, how it's going to help them, because you're solving a problem. And a lot of the things that I see is that people are just posting just to post because they're like, I just need to post something just to stay active and just to stay visible. But that's not going to really take you where you want to go growth wise when it comes to your brand or to generate the sales or the income that you're trying to bring in. So that's a lot of what I cover in my classes. And I just cover, the basics of how to create Canva graphics for them so that women can, how to create like that eye-catching content that's going to set you apart. Because like everybody's selling something or promoting something, it's really just the authenticity of your actual brand itself.
Mhm. This is good information. Really good for
Very,
me.
very
For
good
me personally, I
information.
will say.
No, I think this is fantastic because oftentimes what separates someone, you know, in their business is the
Mhm.
person who is able to have that intentional, as Rosin said, an authentic
Mhm.
engagement versus the person who is very robotic. Like people can read through that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
people are smart in that way. Like they can tell, people, you want people to kind of buy into your vision and
But
and
most people, yeah, they don't know. They don't know what, you have something going, it's going well, and then you either kind of don't have time and you kind of slack a little bit, where you would come in. Or even if I'm looking at like a big picture. If someone wanted to bring in a marketing PR person that consistently just can take care of their business only, let's say it's a college student, let's say it's whatever, they can come to your class and then they can go work for that person. Like you are the trainer training the trainee that's going to go work for another company. Like I see this big picture of young women, young women coming to you and saying, okay, let's do this, and then I'm going to go work for XYZ company, a private company, right? Because there's a lot of business owners that can't afford to bring a PR and marketing person in at 60, 70, $80,000 a year, whatever it's going to be. Right. And so this is another way around it for business owners where maybe you do have a college professional, or maybe you have a stay-at-home mom
Yeah.
that you want to work for you 20 hours a week, right? And do your marketing and stuff for you. And that stay-at-home mom can come to your class. The
Hmm.
business owner can pay for the class. They can come to the class, even if the stay-at-home moms, and they can sit home and do this on the side. Like this is huge for people that need to stay home with their kids.
Yeah,
Huge.
no, I agree. I think like
And
in the marketing space in general, like there's just so much you can do with it when you actually know how to properly market someone's
mhm,
business. Because realistically, you just have to learn the industry that they're in. You have to just make sure. And the only thing like the struggle that I think like most people get when it comes to marketing is like you bring someone in that knows a little bit more that can give you some tips and tricks to help boost your business. It's really just the resistance sometimes from the actual business owner that they're like comfortable with things. And I'm like,
mhm,
that's where the discomfort comes in. But in order for you to grow, you do have to get uncomfortable and try new things. And I
mhm,
think that's really like the only resistance I really ever get from clients when it comes to like branding, because we show like marketing reports, we show like this content is doing well versus what this is before we
mhm,
came in. And
mhm,
what I've noticed is like a mixture of like, at least for Instagram, like reels and carousel posts, like they're both favored on the algorithm because you're being active. Going live, that's one thing I know a lot of business owners don't do often. It does help, boost because when you go live, you get, brought to the front of your Instagram for your followers. But these are like things that I also teach in my class too. I teach them my Canva classes that I do have a component where I sometimes will add an Instagram for like a portion of the class for them to learn how to look at their insights, to look at their, their followers, their engagement, to see when's the best time they should post due to like their audience. So like people don't
mhm,
know that. These are simple things that people don't know as well. So I'm like, I'm going to teach this to them because if it's going to help them grow and help them be able to know their audience better, then like why not?
mhm. And the algorithms change, correct?
Oh my goodness, it changes
Yeah.
all the time.
Constantly,
As
yeah.
soon as you get comfortable with it and you're learning it, then they're like, there's a new update. And I'm like, great, time
Yeah.
to learn something new.
But you have to get probably time. I would say time is another kickback that you got with people that are like, listen, I just don't have time to do all this marketing.
All the time.
You know, that's
Because
got to be the biggest factor.
it takes a lot of time to do it, and a lot of the clients that like we work with is, sometimes it's not just one platform. Sometimes it's Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram that we're doing content for, and sometimes it's also Instagram stories. Sometimes it's just, it really just depends. So it depends on the client that you get and the platforms that they have. Some people
Mhm.
it's just Instagram, some people it's just TikTok. It really just depends because algorithms are different everywhere. Like
Mhm.
sometimes on TikTok, to be relevant and to stay active, you really should be posting like 2 to 3 videos a day on there.
Oh, oh,
Yeah. Yeah. To really get like that engagement that you want on TikTok, it really 2 to 3 a day. And they favor videos that are like longer. Like Instagram, it's opposite. They favor the shorter videos, like shorter than 10 seconds, because people are so quick to just keep scrolling on
Oh,
TikTok.
that's
TikTok, people be on TikTok for
interesting.
hours. I don't know about you guys, but I can go on TikTok and I can be on there for hours just scrolling, just
Yeah,
watching all the stories because it's like they're longer, but it's just different because on Instagram, I'm like, all right, I'm bored. I'm gonna swipe.
yeah.
right. And
But
how
on TikTok,
important,
I'll get invested in someone's military homecoming or someone having a wedding proposal. It's like such a differences between the platforms. But
and I have a question, Rosalind. I'm just curious. How important is it for when you post videos? How
mhm.
important, or maybe it's not, to engage on comments? Is that a factor as well in the videos?
Yeah, they say that when you post your reel or your carousel post, they do say like for reels you can post it on your story because that also gains traction too. But they say like when people comment on your videos, don't just put like emojis. You have to actually like write something back and engage with them within the first like 15 to 20 minutes. Just so Instagram knows like you're not just posting and getting off.
Mhm.
They want to see that you're posting and engaging because then they're gonna continue to like promote your stuff more. And with carousel
Mhm.
posts, the thing with carousel posts, they say to post like the full 10, which I think now it's 15.
I
But
don't
they
even
say,
know what a carousel post is.
yeah, when you post like all your pictures and you post multiples, that's a carousel post.
Oh, I'm like, I don't even know what
Hmm.
that means.
I see, I see many clients in your future, Rosalind.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, so I like when they
That's
say
fabulous.
with carousel posts, if you post more than 10 pictures, it's usually when people do like photo dumps. When people say photo dumps like that. So they say when you do those types, those are good too because the first picture, like yeah, it's posted, but then let's say like a day later, you'll see your post is on there again, but it's the second photo. And then sometimes people see that until they get to the last photo. Because then there's times I'll be like, I already like this picture, but they're showing the third one. And then the next day I'll see the fourth photo of the same one I already liked. So it keeps you relevant the more pictures you post there because they're just trying to show the next picture to see, like, okay, she got a lot of likes on this one. Let's see the next picture. She gets more likes. So
Hmm.
that's another way that they kind of utilize the kind of engagement factor when it comes to photos.
Huh. I don't think I knew that.
I
And
know,
I just learned something today. So thank you.
You're welcome.
yeah, no, I think this is so important because I think that a lot of people have challenges with branding. And
Mhm.
I think that if you're someone who's facing those challenges, well, we have the expert here. We have
Yeah.
Rosalind,
Mhm.
so you definitely have to reach out to her.
We don't
Uh,
want to give away all your secrets
No, I
because, you got to
understand.
educate.
yeah, no, but it's there's a process. I find
Mhm.
that there's just so many things that
Oh yeah,
Roslynn offers in in that landscape, which I think people, if you're doing something and it's not working, that's when you need to turn to like a professional, right? To make
And
sure.
yeah, some people just need a kickstart on how to brand themselves, like a kickstart. And then it's like, oh, and then it all connects, right? Those puzzle pieces all fit in their head. And then they're like, okay, I can move forward. And then they come back to you later on and take a different class, right? Because they, you know what I mean? Now they're ready. But like, I think some people need a kickstart.
So
yeah,
I have a question.
I might be somebody.
I have a question about the classes, Roz. I'm just curious. Are these classes offered like in person? Do you do virtual settings? Like, how does that look like for somebody who's interested to connect with you?
so the Canva classes I do offer them virtually. They're on Zoom. So I
Okay,
usually
cool.
do them once a month. Usually I will do like I usually try to do a poll to see what day works best for the audience to see like what day, because I usually do it during the week and it's a nighttime class. But I do offer it on Zoom. I do one-on-ones as well if the class time does not work. So I do offer that as an option as well. And then yeah, so I just offer them like that.
That makes sense.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's honestly so
Exciting.
fun. I love doing the classes because I get a lot of great questions and I just love helping people because then after my classes, it just brings me so much joy when I see like after they taken my class the next day, they're making reels, they like rebranded their logo, and I was like,
Yay. They
I
listened.
You-
love seeing
Yay.
that.
I have another question. Do you
Yes.
also assist with websites?
So websites, it
Mhm.
depends on what platform because I do have some experience with some websites, but
Okay,
it just depends. Like I would say my expertise is in like GoDaddy for sure.
okay, cool. Okay,
Mhm.
that's great. Wow, that's exciting
Mm.
stuff. I
It
love
is.
stuff like that.
I
Ah,
honestly love it too. I can just honestly create content all the time. And for me it's like it's like people are like, how do you do that so fast? And I was like, I just have a vision when I'm like recording. So for me it's like easier to put it together because I already know how I want it to look and how I want it to come across to another person. And I think that's something that you can teach that to people as well, but sometimes you have to kind of have like not to say you have to have like a thing to do it. You just have to kind of know what message you're trying to put out.
Right, right. Yeah.
yeah. So you start with the end result of what you're looking for
Yeah.
and work backwards.
Pretty much.
That's what I took away from that.
Yeah.
Now,
So
on your website, do you post on your website the classes so people can they can click and they can join or they
so
can
I
sign
actually
up?
put everything on Instagram with Women
Okay.
Warriors Collab. I usually do it on there or sometimes my personal page, just because I know we have a lot of different people that are always looking for classes on there too. So
Mhm.
we'll usually put it there, and then once they, express interest with us, then they'll get the email information of all the stuff for the class, the Zoom link, all of that fun stuff.
Ah, okay.
Well,
And we have all your links. We have everything
Yes.
here that we can share.
I do want to say that the Women Warrior Collab have a lot of networking events, so you'll find Rosalind at those events as well.
Yes.
Hmm.
That was one of the things that I love about that network is that you really meet some dynamic women, entrepreneurs, business owners, and so that's just such a wonderful way to expand yourself because you want to be always expanding and just making friendships too. It's not really all about, oh, who's going to buy my product, but it's really about
Hmm.
getting around powerful women who are going to support you, encourage you, link you to other incredible women who could perhaps, springboard you to the next level. And that's what it's about. And I love that, Rosalind, you're like, the head PR, even for women warrior collab. So that's just amazing.
Thank
Hmm.
you. I honestly love being a part of it because it is very empowering to just be in this room of opportunity with all these women that are different walks of life, different, business ventures. So I've met so many amazing women, and I would say my favorite is when we do our networking events too, because I'm just in awe every time because of all the new people that come and all the people that I make connections with. I'm like, oh my God, there's such beautiful people in here. I'm just like blessed to be in such a beautiful space. So for me, I think that's been the highlight of being a part of like, Women Warriors. And I am going to be in the next book. So stay tuned for
Yay.
Yay! Oh,
very
yes,
excited.
girl. We're gonna be promoting that. We definitely were one of the first podcasts to promote the first book. So, and had a couple of authors. So we're so excited that you're on that track for the volume 2. So
Yes, I'm
can't
very,
wait.
very excited.
That is
Definitely
exciting.
stay tuned. We have so many amazing things coming in the fall. And that's when the book should be ready to go as well in the fall. So I'm excited.
That's good stuff.
Yay. Congratulations
Thank
Yeah.
you.
ahead of time. It's
Thank you.
exciting.
So now we know you're gonna be coming back because
I definitely will. I'm
being an
having
author is a whole nother thing. So
I know, I know. It's been very interesting. This is my first time, and I'm like, wow, this is like really serious stuff.
yeah. Andrea, well, just launched her book not too long ago. So she's
Yeah.
also an author. So
Wow,
Yeah. In
congratulations.
December. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We'll chat about that offline.
yeah, she could tell you about all the good stuff,
It sounds
all
good.
the growing pains, right? Because, it's not that easy to, author a book. There's a lot of work to that. So
For
that's good
sure.
stuff. It seems like you have a lot of wonderful things ahead of you, Rosalind. We're excited that you came here to share your gifts and your talent.
Mhm.
Can't wait
And the
to see.
tips and the little tips you threw in there.
Yes,
I'm
girl.
always here to
Yeah.
help. So I'm glad you guys find value in all the tips I shared. I was just like, yeah, this and this and this.
We have to stop you before you give it all away.
I
I
know, I
don't
know, I
think,
know. I'm so generous.
I
I
don't
know.
think that's possible. I think it's like an endless thing, with
It might be, yeah.
that. Yeah. But thank you so much. We hope that you come back to us once your book is launched. And I definitely will see you at the next upcoming network event.
Sounds great. Thank you so much for having me. This was so much fun.
Awesome.
Mm,
We're so glad that you
thank you.
spent your time with us. Remember, everyone,
Yeah.
you're listening to Web's Women.
Where exposure brings strength.